After completing my mission, I chose to stay, for her. For the deeply affectionate woman who had once promised me forever. I told her my biggest secret. If one day you change your heart, I said, the system will erase my memories and take me away. She held my hand tightly. Don't worry. I will never change, she whispered. But 10 years later, everything changed. Christian and I were injured in the same accident. Yet Tina didn't even look at me. She rushed Christian to the hospital anxiously while I lay there with a fractured arm. The pain was unbearable, and eventually, I passed out. When I woke up, I couldn't remember anything. A woman was standing beside my hospital bed. Tina's assistant. You were hit at a ski resort half a month ago, she explained carefully. You've been hospitalized ever since. The boss was busy, so she asked me to take care of you. I frowned. I was hit. She looked stunned. You forgot again. Today is your 10th wedding anniversary with the boss. Don't tell me you forgot that too. 10th wedding anniversary. I tried to remember, but my mind was blank. For 10 years, that date had been engraved in my heart. Now, it was completely gone. The ward door opened softly. Tina walked in. Her eyes were full of affection, as if I was the only person in her world. She held my hand softly. I didn't know you had an accident. I've been busy with work. I really didn't mean to ignore you, she said, her voice tinged with a soft coaxing tone. I can't stay today either, but tonight I'll cook for you. I'll make all your favorite dishes. She was a famous actress, glamorous in public, yet gentle at home. In the past, if I accidentally cut my finger while cooking, she would worry all night. But this time, I had been hospitalized for half a month with a fractured arm, and she had only sent her assistant. Something felt different. All right, I said quietly. Let's go home. Tina personally handled all my discharge procedures while I watched her busy figure with confusion in my eyes. Years ago, she had insisted on marrying me despite her rising career and my lack of status. On our wedding day, she told me, I don't need you to make money. Just stay by my side. That's enough. I love you deeply. For 10 years, she had kept that promise. Or at least, it seemed like she had. But recently, I couldn't ignore the growing distance between us. We walked out of the hospital. Just as we were about to get into the car, her phone rang. She answered, and her expression changed. There's a last-minute job, she said apologetically. Honey, go home first. I'll come back as soon as I can. I paused. Today was our wedding anniversary. But seeing the troubled look on her face, I nodded. I went home alone. The house felt cold and empty. In the past, we had always reserved 5-star restaurants and carefully planned romantic evenings. Today, I was injured, she was busy, and for the first time in 10 years, we spent our anniversary apart. Then I opened my phone and saw Christian's post. A photo of him and Tina dining together, captioned, 10 years have passed, and you're still by my side. My face went pale. So the work she mentioned was dinner with him. My hands trembled as I scrolled through his feed. Over the past year, almost every update involved Tina. Photos of them holding hands, intimate moments, ambiguous smiles. Then one post from half a month ago caught my eye. Got knocked over while skiing with my girlfriend. Just a small scrape, but she insisted I be hospitalized and cared for 24/7. I'm really lucky. Skiing. Suddenly, memories came rushing back. Half a month ago, Tina and I had planned to go out together. But she received a sudden work call, so I went to the ski resort alone. Not long after I put on my skis, everything started. A figure speeding down from behind slammed into me hard. A sharp pain shot through my arm. I struggled to lift my head and then heard Tina's anxious voice ringing in my ears. Christian, are you okay? Following the sound, I saw the person who had knocked me over being helped up by a woman who was checking on him with obvious concern. That voice, it was unmistakably Tina's. I was wearing ski goggles and a face mask, so she didn't recognize me. She only coldly gave instructions to the assistant beside her. Handle the victim properly. Whatever compensation they ask for, give it to them. I'm taking Christian to the hospital. With that, she hurriedly supported Christian and left. My arm hurt unbearably, but the pain in my heart was far worse. When the assistant realized the injured person was me, he panicked and wanted to inform Tina. I spoke with difficulty, stopping him. No need to tell her. Just take me to the hospital. My arm had a minor fracture. After surgical fixation, I needed to be hospitalized for observation. The assistant was frightened and still called Tina, but he didn't tell her that I was the victim, only that I'd been in an accident. Tina never came to see me. She stayed by Christian's side the entire time. Tears slid down my face uncontrollably, yet a bitter smile tugged at the corner of my lips. No wonder I'd been forgetting more and more things lately. So it turned out her heart had long since stopped being with me. The signs had been there all along, I just hadn't truly understood until now. I leaned against the window, scrolling through Christian's tweets, rereading them over and over for an entire afternoon. When night finally fell, I called out to the system. System, I give up. I want to go home. Very quickly, the system's cold, familiar voice responded, 3 days later, when your body dissipates, I will take you home. That night, I fell asleep without waiting for Tina to return. In the middle of the night, she came back and hugged me from behind, acting spoiled. Why didn't you wait for me to sleep together tonight? You didn't even call me. Are you sulking with me? I kept my eyes closed and didn't move. I'm just tired. Work ended late today. The big meal I promised you. I'll make it up to you tomorrow, okay? Tina pressed her face against my back, coaxing softly. Don't be mad. Thinking of the photo Christian had posted just hours earlier, my emotions tangled into a mess. I closed my eyes. All right. I would be leaving very soon. Whether her lies were exposed or not no longer mattered. Early the next morning, Tina pulled me from the dining table over to the wardrobe in the bedroom. Do you remember where you put my white fishtail dress? She asked. I want to wear that one to an event today. I slowly shook my head. I don't remember. You've always been the one organizing my clothes, Tina said, but I truly didn't remember. So much so that I couldn't even picture what that dress looked like. Seeing that I remained silent, Tina put her hands on her hips, clearly upset. Are you angry because I didn't stay with you last night, or because I didn't stay with you in the hospital? I already explained. I've been extremely busy with work lately. I had no choice. I didn't have time to stay with you. I'm not angry, I said softly, looking at her agitated expression. I just forgot. The system erased my memories. Tina's eyes flashed with anger. It's been 10 years and you're still using that non-existent system to lie to me. How could something like that even exist? Watching her frown, bitterness and sour pain surged in my chest. So it turned out she had never believed in the system I mentioned. Never believed it could really take me away. I didn't want to argue anymore. After a moment of silence, I spoke. If you still love Christian, we can get a divorce. Tina's eyes instantly reddened. Alan, how could you say something like that? Yes, I've loved Christian for 10 years. I can't completely cut ties with him, but it's only because his relationship with his wife ran into problems that I've been caring about him a bit more. You're my husband. Do you really need to be this petty, nitpicking over him, even saying things out of spite about giving me to him? What do you take me for? She yelled. Then she burst into tears. Without waiting for my response, she turned around and left. I stared at the door as it slammed shut. A fine, piercing pain spread through my chest, making it almost impossible to breathe. If things were really as she said, then why would my memories be gradually disappearing? Tina, is it really that hard to admit that you've changed your heart? The pain in my body steadily worsened, tormenting me until I couldn't sleep through the night. At dawn, I received a notification from the system. Host, the day after tomorrow, I will arrange for you to die in a car accident. Please prepare yourself. That evening, Tina came back, with Christian following behind her. She walked up to me and took my hand. Her expression was no longer as angry as that morning, as if our argument had never happened. Christian said he wanted to come check on your injury, she explained. I couldn't refuse his kindness. I'll go cook. Can you two chat for a bit? I glanced at Christian. Go ahead and get busy. Tina stood on tiptoe, lightly kissed my lips, and whispered, don't argue. There's nothing going on between me and him. Then she went into the kitchen. I turned and stepped outside to get some air. Christian followed after me, his low voice carrying a hint of smugness. Looks like your injuries are pretty serious. Too bad it's not about who's hurt worse. What matters is who's loved more. These past few days, I only had some scrapes, yet Tina stayed with me the whole time. Does that make you sad? My expression remained cold. You came all this way just to say this. Christian sneered. I regret it. Tina loved me for 10 years, and I abandoned her for someone else. Fortunately, there's still a place for me in her heart. I still have time to win her back. I know you gave a lot for Tina, drinking yourself into the hospital to help her secure resources, nearly losing your life, chasing away obsessive fans. I can compensate you with money. Give her back to me. My vision went blank. All of that, I had actually forgotten everything. So it turned out I had already forgotten so many things about her. Seeing that I didn't respond, Christian grew dissatisfied. Why cling to her? Tina loved me for years. All I have to do is lower my head a little, and she's happy. You can't compare to me at all. If you don't believe it, I can prove it to you. As he spoke, he suddenly shoved me aside, then jumped into the swimming pool himself, thrashing around and crying for help, making a huge commotion. I crashed heavily to the ground. The arm that had already been fractured sent a surge of pain through me so intense that cold sweat instantly soaked my back. Just as I was about to call out for help, a panicked voice rang out behind me. Tina rushed over without hesitation and jumped straight into the pool, pulling him up onto the shore. Christian looked utterly miserable as he leaned against her, forcing a bitter smile. Don't blame him. I just wanted to check on his injury, and maybe I touched a sore spot, or maybe he misunderstood our relationship, so he pushed me into the pool. Cough, cough. I should go home first. Tina suddenly turned to look at me, disappointment written all over her eyes. Yet she didn't scold me, she only said to Christian, he's just sensitive and tends to overthink. Don't take it to heart. You're injured. Stay over at my place tonight. With that, she helped Christian up and walked back with him, then said to me without even turning her head, Christian will sleep upstairs tonight. You take the guest room. Christian glanced sideways at me, the corner of his lips curling into a triumphant smile as if declaring his victory. From beginning to end, I didn't say a word. It wasn't that I didn't want to speak. The overwhelming pain in my body made even breathing hurt, leaving me without the strength to open my mouth. I watched Tina, who used to have only me in her heart, who would panic even if I accidentally fell, now coldly support Christian and walk away. It seemed there was no longer any need for me to explain anything. Suppressing the bitterness and pain in my chest, I used my uninjured arm to barely support myself, enduring the sharp agony in my fractured arm as I slowly made my way back to the living room. I rummaged through the house looking for the first aid kit but couldn't find it anywhere. Just as I was about to give up and return to my room to rest, Tina appeared in front of me. Her face was expressionless, a first aid kit in her hands, clearly just used to tend to Christian's wounds. When she saw the bloodstains on my arm, her expression changed abruptly. She hurried forward to support me. Did your wound split open? Sit down. I'll take care of it. I dodged her hand. No need. This bit of pain is nothing compared to the punishment the system has given me. Tina pressed her lips together tightly. Are you getting back at me? Because I didn't let you sleep upstairs. Now you don't even want me to treat your injury. Alan, you pushed Christian into the pool. He didn't do anything wrong. He's always treated you sincerely. Is it wrong for me to punish you a little? I looked at her and said calmly, he jumped in himself. Tina froze for a moment, then let out a cold laugh, the disappointment in her eyes deepening. Alan, whether it's the system that will take you away or Christian framing you, I'm begging you, stop lying, okay? I love you. That love will never change. You don't need lies to hold our relationship together. After saying that, she left me no room to refuse and made me sit down, then began bandaging my wound. I wanted to argue back, but when I saw her cold, distant gaze, I finally lowered my head and chose silence. I had thought she would believe my explanation, even just a little. Now it seemed I had been overestimating my place in her heart. After finishing the bandaging, Tina stood up and left immediately, not even sparing me another glance. I watched her retreating figure, a sudden sharp pain tearing through my chest. But as my memories continued to fade, the ache in my heart gradually dulled as well. Only the pain in my body grew more and more intense. I returned to my room and fell into an exhausted sleep. When I woke again, the system's notification appeared before my eyes. Host, there are 2 hours left before you return home. Please prepare yourself. I walked out into the living room. The villa was completely empty. Tina and Christian were both. Just a normal question, but he suddenly burst into tears. His tears flowed like a faucet that couldn't be turned off. People nearby immediately cast strange looks in my direction. I hurried to comfort him. How about I buy you something to eat? Or, I can take you home. How about coming to Uncle's place? Uncle has lots of good food. The moment those words left my mouth, I realized I sounded exactly like a human trafficker. But seeing the hope in his eyes, I still took him home with me. Only afterward did I learn that he had no parents and no home. His dad cheated, his mom ran away, and he had lived with his grandfather. But his grandfather had passed away the year before last, and his body had rotted in the house unnoticed. His tone was flat, as if talking about something unrelated. I patted his head gently. From now on, stay with me. I accompanied him back to his home, buried his grandfather, completed the adoption paperwork, and enrolled him in school. I named him Felix, hoping his future would be full of promise. He's obedient and considerate, he feels my exhaustion and takes the initiative to handle household chores. I thought life would continue like this forever. But one night, deep in the darkness, I heard the systems call again. It sounded on the verge of collapse, its tone urgent. I need you to return to Tina's world again. Because of you, she has completely darkened. She's done many things that shattered her public persona. The world can no longer operate normally. As long as you can restore order to that world, I can give you double the wealth, enough to ensure you'll never worry about food or clothing for the rest of your life. After a long silence, I looked at the sleeping Felix. I only have one condition, let me take him with me. No problem. Perhaps the situation was truly critical. The system agreed without the slightest hesitation. The moment I picked up Felix, a wave of dizziness surged through my mind. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the overpass where I had died. Felix jolted awake, looking utterly confused. He grabbed my collar and asked, "Where is this? Am I dreaming?" I flicked his forehead lightly, set him down on the ground, and explained, "This is another world. I have something to take care of." "Cool." At those words, he instantly perked up and began looking around excitedly. Although it was another world, time here flowed in sync with reality. It was already past midnight. Penniless in this world, I had no choice but to take Felix back to Tina's place. I entered the password, one I knew by heart, unlocked the door, and led Felix straight to the guest room on the first floor. The house was quiet. Tina was likely already asleep. We'd have to talk tomorrow. After coaxing Felix to sleep, I stared at the ceiling for a long time before finally drifting off. Just thinking about meeting her again threw my heart into complete turmoil. I couldn't even tell what kind of emotions I was feeling anymore. The next morning, I was woken by the sound of an argument outside the door. The sharp crash of glass shattering instantly jolted me fully awake. I hurriedly got up and pushed the door open. Tina was throwing a tantrum in the living room, not noticing any movement behind her at all. Her face was twisted with rage, an expression I had never seen before. "I want egg and lean pork kanji. What is this crap you made? Are you trying to poison me?" The chef beside her didn't even dare to breathe loudly and could only explain himself humbly. "Miss, what I made is egg and lean pork kanji." "Liar." Another cup was immediately smashed to the floor, shattering into pieces. At a glance, I recognized it. It was the one Christian had given her. That seemed to be the first time she had ever mentioned Christian in front of me. That night, She had gone out for social engagements and came back completely drunk, barely able to walk. After I had settled her on the sofa, I went to make some sobering soup but couldn't find anything suitable to hold it. Later, I found a set of cups in the cabinet and used one of them to serve her the soup. The moment she saw the cup, she sobered up instantly. Panic filled her face as she poured the soup out and rushed into the kitchen to wash the cup. "Who told you to use this cup?" There was irritation in her voice. Not wanting to make her angry, I explained the reason. "This was a birthday gift Christian gave me. It's priceless. How could you use it to hold sobering soup?" That was the first time I had ever felt wronged by her. She had never lost her temper at me before, never. And the first time she did it was because of another man. So the next day, when I cooked, I forgot her preferences. It wasn't until that evening, when she frowned and picked the cilantro out of her food, that I remembered she never ate scallions, ginger, garlic, or cilantro. Every cause has its consequence. The moment she developed feelings for Christian was the beginning of everything. The egg and lean pork congee I want should be smooth but not greasy. Redo it. If it's still bad, I'll fire all of you.